Online sellers of e-bikes and their customer service is a hot topic right now. If you look on the Facebook groups, on online forums, it's lighting everything up. And it's caused one CEO of one of those companies to issue a public apology. A few weeks ago, I put a video on my channel and it's got, less than 1,000 views, I believe. But it was about customer service and e-bike companies and whether customer service actually existed there. The forums, the Facebook groups, they're on fire right now concerning complaints. And the complaints are damages in shipping, missed ship dates, people being charged up front for their bikes and being promised a date, and then that date is a month or so later. Absolutely unable to get a human being on the phone at these customers in terms of customer service. The people are feeling lied to, they're feeling let down, they're wondering if they've gotten scammed. And these are expensive bikes. We're talking people that are dropping between $1,500 and say $4,000 on some of these bikes. We've got bikes from two companies. One is Rad Power Bikes, the other one is Juice Bikes. The CEO of Juice Bikes, CEO and founder, Tora Harris, just issued a letter yesterday, which is actually a public apology. In that letter, he talks about the sales growth, the pandemic issues that they've had, and he said he's deeply sorry for not addressing these issues earlier. He's taking full responsibility. That's one of the good things. Is that helping the customers and how they feel about the company? We're going to have to take a wait and see approach on that. He said he's going to add more customer service agents. He's adding a team that will focus on nothing but customer communication. Another team he's going to build up, and that is the timely processing and shipment of orders. They're going to focus on that. Reducing the damage in shipping, that's always a concern. If you see some of their videos about them working in their factory, the supplier's factory over in China, they actually have multiple people picking up boxes and dropping them just like they would if at a FedEx center or an LTL shipment type center. But the overall theme is he wants to regain the trust of the customer. He knows he's let everybody down, and he's taking personal responsibility for that. I think there's a couple things they can do in order to help them in that category. But let's be fair. This is not just Juice Bikes. It's really all of the companies that sell bikes online. They're having these same issues. If you watch my previous video, it's with logistics, with coronavirus and shutting down a lot of the countries that a lot of these parts come from, mostly China. But the disruption has been immense. At the same time, the increase in interest of e-bikes and the increase in sales, they're trying to keep up with that. Those two automatically conflict. And a lot of these companies are ran by startup or entrepreneur type individuals. Okay? These aren't seasoned professionals that have run companies that handle logistics for a living. Usually it's not that. Usually it's the people that have the creative idea and the desire to get a technology out there in front of the consumers. A lot of times those people aren't the right people to actually run the company. That's one of my suggestions. I think somebody like Tora Harris, although he's the founder and the owner of the company, doesn't necessarily mean that he has to be the CEO. If they had someone in there that had big scale logistic experience, I think these issues would iron themselves out. But you've got a founder of a company, and he's working on R&D, and he's traveling back and forth to China. And when you're a CEO, you have to be on site and in the trenches. You can't run a company remotely. It just doesn't work that way. Some people might say if you put the right people in place in positions, then you don't need to be there all the time. Well, that could be true, but as the CEO, he has the ultimate responsibility for everything. But here's the thing. He said that he's going to be directly involved in all of these fixes that I mentioned from his letter. Well, he can't run all that stuff and still go to China and do R&D. These CEOs have to remind themselves they can't be everything to everybody. They've got to learn how to delegate and put the right people in place. So just 2 weeks ago, Rad Power Bikes put a letter or a statement up on their website, and they're acknowledging, or they're trying to let everybody know about the growth challenges that they've had because of the interest in e-bikes, and also the logistical issues due to the pandemic. they're saying the same thing. There's going to be delays. They're going to try to be more accurate in their promises for shipping out bikes, this and that, so that they can maintain the customer's confidence in their product. All of these companies are having the same issues. Here's another item I think would go a long way in building customer confidence in these products, and that is currently when you order, and both Juice Bikes and Rad Power Bikes do the same thing, they process your credit card within days of your order. Then they give you a ship date. Now if that ship date doesn't come to fruition and you've got to wait an extra month, that leaves a really poor taste in the mouth of the consumer, right? You've got $4,000 out there and you're not sure where it's at. And people don't want to be lied to, especially if they've given up, $2,000 to $4,000 to a company. So it leaves a really poor taste in the mouth of the consumer. What I think is they should put maybe a reserve on the card when they take the order and not actually charge the card until the shipment actually takes place. I think this would go a long way in building the confidence of the consumer, and they won't start using words like, I don't know if I was taken, or it's a sham, or it's a scheme, something like that. I think that would tame down that rhetoric and give the companies a little bit more credibility. My last suggestion is this. It seems to counteract each other, but you've got these e-bikes that are on the forward edge of technology, right? And these customer service systems, they would probably think that those need to be on the forward edge of technology as well. Maybe logistically, maybe in tracking orders and sending out shipment notifications and this and that. But customers that spend thousands of dollars with you, they still want to get a human being on the phone. You got to give them a way to get in contact with the human. Last week I needed to get on the phone and call tech support at Xfinity or Comcast. And literally it took me 20 minutes to get a human because they have the automated, the AI chat bots. And so you're sitting on the phone and they're going off of your words, but you say customer service or human being, and then you've got to go back through a menu. Literally took me 20 minutes to get a human on the phone, and I was trying to express my frustration to the lady, and I said, listen, what they should do is they should take your CEO out of San Francisco, drop them off in the middle of Iowa with a quarter, and put them near a payphone to try to get through their voice system, the voicemail system, the automatic phone system, and reach their own office. And I bet they couldn't do it. I'm not sure if I said that was my last point, but here's my last point. And that is this. These companies are trying to stay ahead of technology. A lot of the companies have similar models of bikes. And so they're spending a lot of money on research and development. You would think maybe they just need to slow down a little bit and go back to the basics, and that is customer service and processing things and making sure that their reputation is upheld and that the word means something. And then once they get that right, then work on that R&D. But if you're out there pushing R&D and you're announcing all these new models coming out, but somebody who spent $2,000 to $4,000 with you still can't get a customer service rep on the phone because their bike was shipped with the wrong parts, that's a huge disconnect. They need to fix that. Now, sure, they're trying to drive sales so they can fund their R&D, but at some point you can't do it all. And anybody that's been in business knows that with tremendous growth, you get a cash flow crunch. Okay? You need to manage that. You got to have enough capital or access to capital in order to fund all of that. But what you can't do is let the core aspects of your business fail, because pretty soon you won't have to worry about R&D because you won't have a customer base to sell to at all. They need to slow down, rein things in, get control, become competent on their essentials before they move forward and start selling new bikes, because people can't even buy the old bikes properly yet. If you agree with me, maybe you disagree with me, but I'd like to see your comments below. A lot of people buy their bikes online because you get a little bit more bang for your buck. Now, some of the people that are buying bikes at the local bike shop and they're buying the e-bikes there, those are very pricey bikes and you get the service with that, and I get that. But some people don't have the money to go pay for that access So they need other options. So I think, you know, inline or online sales and also local bike shop sales, it's all needed because it serves a diverse demographic of people. Not everybody's got the money to go spend on the high-end bikes at the local bike shop, and they try to get as much as they can for their money online. That comes with some headaches, but hopefully eventually these headaches will get ironed out. If you agree with me or disagree with me, please let me know your experience or put some comments below. And if you found this video interesting or informative, please do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.